What is up, everybody, and welcome back to our channel. Firstly, we're very sorry that this is a day late. Just, things happen in life, and we were looking at, the kind of schedule that we had yesterday, and I had yesterday.
The personal life just took over.
Just literally couldn't get it in. And there were things that we couldn't put off, work and all sorts of stuff.
It's funny because normally, obviously, you have work, so like you work like throughout the week.
Yeah.
To where it makes it a little more structured, but because you're starting, I think you're starting kind of a day later, like you're starting on Thursday instead of Wednesday.
Well, we start on Wednesday for majors.
Right, that's what it was. Okay, so because you don't start till Thursday, it freed up the day, which meant even though it's free, we had more stuff to do.
Yeah.
And that's what it kind of made it just impossible to do.
It was really tough. Everything seemed to fall on the day that we film, and it was kind of like out of the blue, and things change, and meetings and appointments and things that just the annoying stuff in life that unfortunately you cannot put off, and it meant that we couldn't give the amount of time we wanted to film. So we're like, do you know what, I think you guys would understand and wouldn't mind it just to wait one more day.
And it happened at a good time because there's nothing going on.
Yeah, there's nothing
no matches happening. Or anything.
It's just some changes. We haven't really. The thing is, a lot has changed, but we can't really talk too much about it. We can literally be like, this has changed, but we can't really say like, and now this has happened. So we're waiting to see what happens.
Main change.
With the meta changes.
Main change that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
The slide cancel.
Yes.
Apparently no more. But
absolutely.
I just heard it last night, so there's not really. I'm seeing a lot of people saying the game's a lot different.
Yeah,
but
it apparently is. We're actually going to jump on tonight and have a little look-see.
But to what Lot's saying, can't really talk about it. I mean, it's what everyone's saying. Yeah. We'll see. Next week we'll have a lengthy discussion about it.
But we're just going to pretend it's the Wednesday. So happy Wednesday.
Technically, if we recorded this yesterday, we wouldn't have known about the change.
It's true. Well, technically, it is Wednesday today.
If we would have recorded it on Tuesday. Like, huh? Yeah. No, but you know what I mean?
No, I know. But it is technically Wednesday today. You will be seeing us on Thursday, but it is technically Wednesday. So happy Wednesday, my dudes. So first and foremost, episode 10. Yeah. That is 10 weeks.
10 weeks in a row.
Of our podcast. So happy birthday, 10-week birthday to our baby.
That's actually pretty crazy.
Podcast. I know it is, isn't it? This is all just a dream. And then suddenly, I was going to say we put it on paper, but we didn't. We put it on the internet.
I'm so excited for the basement to be done.
Me too. I can't wait.
Get the legit setup.
We have to roll these chairs. These are actually our gaming chairs.
Yeah, what we
have to roll
use.
these chairs in and out every episode. And I tell you, it gets on my nerves, man. I can't wait to have just like a complete area.
It's a tight setup.
Dedicated.
Yeah, it's a tight setup. But we love it. So
we do love it.
Works.
We do love it. Rolling it is worth it. It's worth rolling with the punches. But I tell you what, we do have a coffee. Now, I did say in the last episode, I really wanted to try my go-to coffee in the morning. A coffee for me that I just can't go wrong with. I love this coffee. It is by ILLY. I call it Illy. I don't actually know the right way to pronounce it, but I call it Illy. And it is I'm pretty sure it's Italian. So it is just amazing. It is so delicious. It's not exactly the cheapest coffee you can get. It's not exactly the most expensive coffee you can get. Yeah, it's pretty good. So it's a pretty good medium. If you're a little bit of a coffee snob like I am, this to me, like it's very hard when I
especially
have
for
a cup
espresso.
of this. Yeah, it's an espresso, by the way. But when I have this and then I taste another coffee immediately after, I can just taste the difference. Like I really can taste just how nice this is, the quality. But I absolutely love it. This is actually the bold roast. You can get an original roast, which is a red tin, which we also have.
Yeah, we have to say we already have that too.
We have that as well. We always have these on standby. But like I said, there's a twist on today's coffee because we're celebrating a birthday.
Should we do a cheers?
The birthday of the podcast. There is whiskey in this coffee. Whiskey. Do you want to tell them what you did? Cheers.
I mean, honestly, it's not like it's going to be...
It's gone fancy schmancy on this.
It's not going to be great because it's me making it at the end of the day.
You're wonderful at making stuff. You always... Okay,
I have learned to cook.
Fun fact for you guys. He makes the coffee every single time we do.
I know, but but when I change up the recipe, it gets a little...
There's nothing wrong with changing up a recipe.
Basically, I looked up how to make I think it's called Irish whiskey or an Irish
coffee.
An Irish coffee.
Irish cream.
That's what it's called. Yeah, but it's weird because it's an Irish coffee, but then we got Italian. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't really...
It smells like a good time.
Yeah, but I tried following the actual recipe. I put in sugar. It's supposed to be sugar to taste, but you put in sugar. Is it good? Strong?
Oh my god. I took that.
I gave you less too.
Oh gosh, we're gonna have a good time this part. We're gonna have a good time. I tell you what.
That's pretty good.
You know what it is? I just took a sip as if it was like a normal coffee.
Yeah. You're supposed to sip it. Yeah. Like, like
I can tell that now. Yeah, not gulp it like I did. Yeah. Holy smokes.
What did you what? You knew what was in it.
I know, but your brain tricks you because it smelled delicious and it looks good, guys.
Yeah, basically it's good. Sugar, like sugar first, coffee in, whiskey and tiny bit of whiskey, not like it's a lot. Yeah. We still got stuff to do in the day. And and then you're meant to try to like froth like or whip heavy cream. Which is what I did. Like if you look at the top, there's like a there's like a foam. I don't know if you still have it.
Because of the cream in there, that tastes a bit like a Bailey's.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does.
I didn't do the best at like whipping up the cream, but I tried.
And fun fact: we named our puppy that we got this year. Well, last year. Oh my god.
It's okay.
Time.
Yeah.
Ew. How fast that is going. Last year, we actually named her after my favorite alcoholic beverage, Bailey's.
Yeah.
So we call her Bailey. But that is lovely.
It's a good name.
Babe. Well done, babe.
Thank you. You like it?
It's fantastic. Yeah. 10 out of 10 already.
Thank you.
Tell you now. 10 out of 10 and nothing to do with the alcohol. Just absolutely delicious. I tell you what though, in this podcast, you are, you're a barista and a mixologist.
I'm a barista, mixologist, and now a chef. Because I've been on master class.
I'm putting a new spin on this saying, you're a jack of all trades, but a master of all. I got you.
I like that. That's good.
Because you know what the saying is, master of none.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. Jack of all trades.
People do everything, but they haven't mastered all of it. But you...
Can I say a side note for the listeners? If you can, because you gotta like... It's a little expensive, I'm not gonna lie.
What?
I'm gonna say it. But if you can... She goes, what? If you can, masterclass, 100% worth it. If you have the money to spare for it, and there are topics
just
on
for
there,
a year.
It's only for a year.
Well, you can extend it, but I'm just saying, I think you could get stuff done within a year.
There's so many topics to learn from.
You know what?
For not that much. Because let me tell you something. The main reason why we did it is
our dogs.
Is for our dogs, because they're pretty well trained. But we're like, let's keep it. If you have dogs that are well trained, this. It's a constant learning experience and constant battle of making sure they're...
You've got to just keep on it. You have to... Training doesn't stop ever.
Exactly.
Just keep it going.
So we decided not to do an in-person trainer. 1, because of COVID. 2, it just gets a little expensive.
It's expensive for stuff that honestly I do feel like we are capable of doing ourselves.
It was
if we're told the right direction
it was
to go
60,
in, I can
for
communicate with my dogs just fine.
Yeah, for an obedience trainer, it was like $60 per... session per hour, and it just didn't
and it adds up
and it adds up quick, because some of it is just stuff that's so, especially having already had rider, we've already went through a lot of classes. What I don't want to also put trainers down, because there are people who genuinely need things to they need help with their dog. Sometimes their dog is just not retaining the information. It's not kind of communicating with them at all, and they don't know where to go from here. And I do think there are occasions where trainers have the most incredible knowledge and handling when it comes to certain situations with dogs. But I just think with our dogs, especially, I think the trainer that we went to just didn't really leave a great impression on us. Well,
so
it's not just that though. Right, because yes, to what you're saying, wasn't a great lasting impression, but 2, we already went through it with that same trainer, with Ryder. So to go again with a puppy, I'm kind of like, I already know the steps we're taking here,
Well, we did do 2 sessions. Yeah. And we kind of were just in those sessions, and I felt like nothing was really being done. It wasn't. Nothing was getting, I was like, oh, I know this, and she knows how to sit. Yeah. And I don't know, I just felt like we were training her
based on what they want.
No, but not even that. I just don't think they were doing a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, look, whatever works. But I just feel I felt like we could just do this at home.
No, but the thing with training, right? We won't talk about it for too long, because
I know. Why are we talking about
this? Because masterclass is worth it. That's why. No, but the thing with training is I think training is really good for specific things. If you need the help.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you need the help when they're a puppy, fair enough. But like we didn't need help for when she's a puppy.
Obedience too.
Now she's a year older.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's dial it in. We have all the stuff that she needs to know.
Also for us as well, I think, we also do have an extremely intelligent breed of dog. We have a border collie. It's arguably one of the most intelligent breeds in the world, if not the most.
Is that a hot take or is that a fact?
Take it as you will, whatever you want. But I mean, you look it up on Google, they'll tell you the same thing.
Okay, so that's what I meant. Though. Like
I think it's fact.
I didn't know
if that, from Google.
I didn't know if that's like mom brain.
Anything just like on the internet. It's a hard fact.
No, I know, but I didn't know if that's like you're being a little biased mom brain, being like she's so smart.
Oh, no,
I know border collies are so smart, but I just didn't know.
They are meant to be the most intelligent dog breed.
I know.
I mean, hey, let's take that as you will, because they can be so intelligent that they're extremely naughty because they're so smart. Yeah. So they can figure out ways around stuff. So you have to be on it, but they also do retain information super well. So I felt like from our perspective, I mean, God, I taught her how to spin around within 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It was just like, I was like, oh, wow, okay. But then it's now for us, it's more like what masterclass is doing is like, don't do so many tricks. Let's get the fundamentals down. Let's get her to actually be obedient, respectful, and
walking. Walking on leashes is a big thing for us with her.
Anyway, it's really cool. We've also been learning how to cook properly. I've been looking into interior design because I love interior design. So many cool things and features on that. And honestly, for what was that, 180?
Yeah, I think it was 180 bucks
for the year with unlimited access to.
That would have been 3
classes. Wicked.
Of dog training.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's unlimited classes of anything. Like you can just watch them as many times you want and as many different fields of stuff you want. You're not like limited to 5 different things.
Well, it's got me to dive into cooking, hasn't it? Because
God, yeah, I know. We got Gordon Ramsay on every night. I'm not mad about that. It's funny as hell, but
it's been pretty good. Don't lie.
The first dish she made was just
the first
amazing.
dish. The first dish that was actually like a recipe.
Our fridge looks handsome as hell, doesn't it?
Because we went way healthier, didn't we?
God,
fresh produce,
stunning in there. It makes you just want to cook. You look into your fridge and everything's fresh and like beautiful. The vegetables. I've never looked at vegetables and thought, before. Yeah. Like, but they're good.
You know this. I've never had a carrot that wasn't orange before. You know that?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like, it's like the recipe. It's like
totally
in the recipe, right?
It was. I've never had a purple potato.
Yeah, same.
That's
radishes.
A new one.
I don't think
I've never had I've had raw radish before in a salad.
Okay.
Not my favorite raw.
I don't think
very
I might have.
For how like squishy, small, and I would say
for kind roasting it.
Not bland, but like they take on whatever flavor you want when you cook them. Radishes, when they're raw, I'd love you to try raw radish. It blows your mind.
What, the difference?
Oh my God, yeah. They're so intense.
Gotcha.
When they're raw. It's unbelievable.
Anyway,
hello everybody. Welcome back to the room. Should we talk about stuff we're meant to talk about? Brilliant. Yeah. Let's do it.
It's meant to be about us.
I know. We're just chilling. We're just chilling with you guys today. So first things first, we want to get across is the Call of Duty stuff. Obviously some changes have happened this week. Obviously we've got the meta change coming into stage 3, which we will talk a bit more about the meta change when we have seen what is going to come of that. But first things I'd like to talk about.
Next week will be a good time.
Next week will be great.
Because it'll be interesting.
Yeah. But I'd like to talk about the team changes. Because I think that's something that's constantly happening. Roster changes.
Couple changes.
London Royal Ravens. They've made a big decision. They changed their roster despite kind of going on the come up, I would say, on the kind of front side of the major. Coming into that and preparing for that, they were looking pretty good. Not many complaints after Paul X joined the team. But I think the key that
they started hot.
Yeah, they did start hot. And they went on a really nice little run there before the major, but they did cool off in a pretty big way. Ice pool, I would say, ice bath. But what I would say about this team, it seemed to be the same thing over and over again that we were talking about, is Dylan.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that Dylan did anything wrong, and I'm not saying that Dylan is a rubbish player, because he certainly is not. We've seen what Dylan can do.
Inconsistent,
it was inconsistent, and it just seemed like the rest of the team had to work really hard to enable Dylan to play well. Yeah. And I know that is the storyline for most SMG players, because you need your ARs to start fighting the battles before you can really start to show what you're doing and make a bigger impact on the map. You need to open up the lanes for your SMG players. You do.
No, you do. I'm just joking.
Why you disagree?
Because when you look at like Simp, like I think I could go AR for Simp, and it's not gonna.
No, I know that, but that's what elevates an amazing top team. But what I'm saying is, it took that strategy and that kind of variation of how you play to a whole new level with Dylan. Like he had to have that in order to perform
100%.
like that, and that's the issue, because that was the only way he was really doing really well. So I think the replacement is quite a good shout. I'd love to see how that looks. Obviously the replacement being Zapdos, and look, hey, I'm all for the role changes sometimes. I'm all for the roster changes, because I do feel like it breathes a new like fresh air into the lungs of a team. I think it gives them a new leg to stand on. But the question is whether or not he's going to perform well for his team.
Is he the one?
Yeah, that's the question. And I don't know yet.
Can I ask you a question?
We'll see.
What happened to Alex? Because so he went back to the UK for family reasons, right?
Yeah.
And has there just been no update? If you can't say, don't say. I don't think you have.
I probably wouldn't be able to say. Yeah. But I actually don't know.
That's why I thought, because I wouldn't have asked, but I actually figured you actually didn't know.
No.
It's great. It sucks for them. Hopefully everything's okay with him, okay with his family. That comes first. But
absolutely,
he's such a talent. So it's amazing. I'm sure he
would make a huge impact.
That's why I see these roster changes. Like London, it sucks for them because I just feel like since the start of Cold War, they have just been on the side of unfortunate situation after unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
First, you had Zero not being able to come yet because of a visa issue.
Yeah.
I assume because of COVID. I don't really know, but I assume it's COVID related. Then head into the first major. They're using Parasite, which no offense to him, but like, new-ish back to the league.
Yeah.
I can't even say no offense to him because by what he did last year, it's understandable why he got his spot.
100%. I mean, look at the track record in challenges.
Yeah, exactly.
He's on that main stage every time, pretty much.
It's not no offense to him. It's just like no offense that it didn't work out for them. But he was kind of like the scapegoat, right? He was like, okay, no, if this doesn't go well, he's getting replaced no matter what. And then heading into the first major, unfortunately for Parasite, Alex gets taken out for Zach. Zach has done really good.
Oh, Zed's been brilliant.
Zed. Is that his name? Zed? His name's Zach, right?
Zach.
Okay.
Well,
but is his gamer tag Zed?
Zed, yeah.
Okay. I'll be honest, I didn't know his gamer tag.
Well, you gotta, to be fair, his name is Zach Denya.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of is like Zed.
Is that on Twitter, though?
Huh?
Is that what it is on Twitter?
Zed.
His at?
No, his at is Zach Denya.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll double check that. Hold on. Oh, that's a picture.
Don't worry about it. I think that's his Twitter.
I had the most grandma.
She's on a screenshot of Twitter, and she thought that she was on Twitter, so
I've
kept tapping.
I've got a Q&A ready for later, and I've got I started trying to go on his at tag because it was a screenshot.
It was a screenshot. I'm a big fan, like you said, kind of to reiterate. I'm a big fan of the changes. I think you got to do what you got to do in the league.
Something's not working.
I like going away from like the friendship side of it. You know what I mean? Like if you're not good, get them out. And it's not necessarily you're not good, but if I don't want to say if you're not good because it's such a discredit to professional players because clearly they're good.
I don't think the wording is if you're not good. I think it's if it's not working.
If it's not working, right?
Because if you're there, you're meant to be there.
Exactly. So if it's not working, I'm all for do something. Because it's for the most part, you watch what Toronto did last week.
Oh my God.
It's up for grabs.
I still have to kind of wake up and.
Yeah. Like, whoa, that still happened?
That happen? Yeah, that did happen.
No, so I'm, like you said, I'm a big fan.
It's funny you should say about the friendship thing and to move away from it because when I spoke to Kenny last, which was on Twitter Spaces, and he joined in before one of the days of the major, he actually feels like that is the key to victory in Call of Duty League. Yeah. No. He literally thinks that is the key. He said that if you guys just don't get along and you're not vibing and having a good time, then it's not going to work.
Yeah, I mean that's okay. There's truths to that. I agree. If you're with your team and you just absolutely hate each other, first off, teams have hated each other and won. But to have long-lasting success, you need to overall be friends, right? You see how our team has been close like friends, best friends, like brothers through years and years and years, and that's where continued success happens. But the friendship thing that I'm talking about is people making it in the league that probably could be replaced in the league, and the reason they make it is because of their name and their friends. And no offense to you, but you be friend. I'll tell you what, if you pick up the top AM player in challengers and he starts, getting you some wins.
Yeah.
I bet you Minnesota is best friends with Standy. Well, you know what I mean? Because he turned their season around real quick.
Yeah, true. Do you think then that there is like the wrong interpretation of that. So like, for example, do you think players actually have it wrong themselves? So like they think that they do better in a friendship league type situation. So like they're all best mates on the team, but they've got it wrong because they can't see past that. So for example, they can have like a really good player, but just say like they're not the bestest of friends.
Yeah.
Therefore they're like, oh yeah, it's not working because we're just not best mates. Like this can't work. And then they get in their own heads and suddenly things are just not working at all because they're not willing to work through it themselves.
I don't know. I don't necessarily buy into the, like, cause it's been like something people have said a lot, the friendship thing. I don't necessarily,
I've heard it from the player's mouth.
No, but listen. I don't necessarily buy into, like, I don't think there are just players in the league that don't belong in the league because they're friends with whoever. I don't really believe that. Like, when I say that, I don't have anyone that comes to mind that I'm like, oh yeah, that person shouldn't have been in the league. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is what fans try to like bash and say. What it is, to what you're saying, it's the uncertainty. You don't want to go team with player XYZ, player from Challenger, because there's an uncertainty to not knowing them, not knowing how it's going to mesh, not knowing how it's going to work. Your personality is going to align. And it can be hit or miss. It can be hit or miss, but I'll tell you what, if you pick up someone that's really good, that's going to make your team good, for the most part, teams that are doing well, don't argue.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's kind of what it is at the end of the day. When we picked up Frosty, I had no idea who the kid was. This is 6 years ago now. When we picked up Frosty, our team, we were a top 2 team in the league, and we were really looking for what change are we going to do here to make us be the best team. All right, we need to take down EG at the number 1 spot. Yeah. It's a new game, so we're like, okay, we're this is good for us, right? But Frosty reached out to Ogre 2, and Ogre 2 was like, let's wait until the first LAN event and see like how good he really is, right? And Matt and I are kind of like, oh, okay, like, yeah, I guess we'll wait. Like, yeah, okay, like maybe you're right. And then we played, at the time we were teaming with Cloud, and we were so bad at the start of Halo 5 with Cloud to where I told Matt, I was like, dude, we need to do something.
And you knew it was
like,
because of Cloud.
Because Cloud we were having issues with, like, no offense to Scotty, but he wasn't like getting on for practice, and in a new game, you just can't do that. So Matt and I kind of went back to like, maybe, like what about this Frosty kid? Like, let's see, right? So Matt and I played a series of 8s with him. He was on our team. The very first game, he dropped 50 kills in a CTF. I messaged Royal 2 and I said, we're signing him. We don't. This is a no-brainer. We're signing him.
Get your DMs open.
Yeah. So
we're going in.
So the friendship thing, it is true, but at the same time, there's just, if you're doing well, you're really not going to have an issue overall.
Right. Yeah. Do you know what? I do think that, but I think there's a lot of people who actually are even in the situation of playing that need to get over that then.
Yeah.
Because I think
it's a business at the end of the day now.
Yeah, but I think they're in their own heads about it as well.
Well,
so,
I mean, like, look, Kenny's best friends with Slasher, right?
Yeah.
You can't convince me that their vibes are just the best of buds all the time when they're getting 7th place.
No.
Because that will take a toll on anybody, right?
Yeah.
They pick up Draza and Venom now, but mainly Draza. I don't know what they actually placed technically. They got like 4th last major. I don't know what their actual placement was, but nonetheless, they did better, right? They beat NYSL. They did better than anyone predicted them to. The vibes are for sure better on that team than the 7th place team, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think it's something players got to get over. You got to take, especially in a business world now, you got to take the risk. Take the risk to win it.
All right. Okay. Another little change that's happened. Obviously, another signing. Not really a signing, more of a comeback.
Yeah.
Havoc.
A sub.
Havoc in, slacked out. So I was about to say Slasher then, because we were talking about Slasher. And Slasher and slacked, they're a big, big word problem. So slacked out, Havoc in, SMG. It's the reign of the SMGs right now. It's the trading of the SMGs currently. So Havoc, fantastic. I just think he's such a great player. And I think he's actually going to make a big difference to that team. What do you think?
I'm not sold.
You're not sold on it?
No.
Havoc's brilliant. No? Okay. He's not with
I'm
us.
not sold.
I'm
not saying he's bad. I think he's good. I think we'll see. Because I think he's good. I don't necessarily think he didn't belong in the league. Like, he goes to a sub spot. But I'm not like... He just needs to define what kind of player he is. And I think this needs... Now that he's got his opportunity back in, they have the team. you got Neptune. Neptune's a beast. Whether that's not even being biased, you could just genuinely watch his
Neptune
screen.
Awakening is an absolute
That's
beast.
what I'm saying. Sky's just starting to turn it around a little bit, So it's like they have the roster. It's just a matter of who's that fourth person going to be that's going to elevate them to success. Yeah. And I'm not even saying like winning, just like success. Like you're not a out of the major first round kind of team, or whatever, however far they made it, but it wasn't very far. So we'll see. I think he could be the right change just because I think they might have just needed a change. I've told you for a while, I thought Slack, I don't know. I don't want to bash him, but I think this is probably something he needed. Right. I think that him getting benched is something he needed because if it should motivate him. Right. Something, it's not working. And listen, if you are on, it's not a coincidence necessarily that you are on the bad side or you are on a bad team 2 years in a row. At some point, you need to look in and figure out, is it you or is it really your team? And in MW, he was blaming the game and he was blaming the team and yada yada. You go forward to this year.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's like just on him. Yeah. I really don't. I think it was a team issue. What do you think?
Okay, so I think it's a tough one because I do feel like Slack is a very, very good player. I do feel like we're not seeing his full potential.
He's had moments of brilliance. Like,
he has. But I think this is the thing. Okay, I sound like a freaking broken record because I say this so many times. The potential of players is unbelievable, which is why they are here in the beginning, right? It's why they're here.
That's why you're in the league.
But like sometimes that potential is not being hit to the point where it's like, one of those circus games where you have a hammer and you can hit that bell and it goes up.
Yeah.
It's not reaching past 10 right now with some people. And then other times they're hitting 100, they're hitting the ceiling, they're going past that, they're shooting out the top. And it's frustrating because I don't know why that's caused. Like, I can't give you input into why that's happening to him or to anyone else for that matter. But all I know is it's not working right now, and you get given a certain amount of time to try and take that potential back up to where it should be. Yeah. And if it's not happening, I can't disagree with the team for making a change.
Yeah, my biggest issue with him, as a player, is something we've talked about time and time again. It's the blaming of online. It's the blaming of... It's constant. It's constant. And it's like, he got put on the bench and Lan comes back. And the first thing he says is like, of course, and I get it because like you miss playing on Lan, but it's not gonna... It's not...
Well, Slack said that.
Yeah, like, I get why you want to play LAN. So if you're just miss playing LAN, fair enough. But he tweeted it. The only reason I give him such a hard time about this, like when we talk about it, is because last year he was tweeting the same stuff. When last year, I was at almost all the events. Seattle wasn't winning anything. They were in last place, couldn't win a game, an SND. Last year when COVID, the pandemic is in the prime time of it, obviously, and events are all good online. He's tweeting that as if, and I'm like, dude, like, it didn't make a difference. Like, just you got to focus. You got to focus in here because it's not happening there. If it's not happening there, when you go back, it's not gonna magically be there. I don't know if that's what he meant when he said, like, I think he might have just meant it as like, of course I end up on the bench when we're announced of a possibility of a LAN event. We'll see. I guess, it's tough.
Yeah. I think we'll leave that conversation about the roster change there because let's just see what happens.
Can I say one other thing?
Yeah, of course you can.
Players need to stop, like, you can give support without lying to people.
Yeah.
You know how many people he tweeted about him getting put on the bench? And look, I'm not bashing him as a player because I don't think he did just awful to where it's like he needs to go on the bench. Like, he's clearly behind everyone else. But like you said, it just wasn't working. It wasn't working for their team. Not, no. And clearly, he's the one.
It's missing the puzzle.
Exactly.
The piece is gone there, yeah.
Or at least that's what they're hoping.
Well, that's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like, and that's what Florida is hoping. But you know how many people are like, no way. Like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And it's like, yes, you can. Like, don't lie. Like, why are you lying? Like, yes, you can. I don't mind the tweets that are like, oh, bro, keep your head up. You'll be back. I like that. It's like, yeah, he's down a little bit. Push him back up. I like that. But but don't.
You'll be back on in no time.
Exactly.
You got this.
But don't, like, I don't know. It's just a random thing I saw where I was like, why are you, don't lie to your friend.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe they did that. Really? You can't believe? Because who was going to be the one to go?
Yeah.
It was him or Neptune.
Neptune's been doing
fantastic. And Neptune's been doing really solid. So I don't know. Random thought.
No,
you get where I'm coming from?
I totally do. And I think, but do you know what? I just think that's just sometimes the way people communicate. That's just. I mean, I was gonna say something real deep then, but I'm just gonna save it.
It's like everyone calling each other goat, isn't it?
It is.
You just lie to each other.
You just lie. You're the greatest of all time, baby.
You're just lying to one another.
You're like, no, I'm not.
No. It's like, it's a random comment to make for me, but I don't know. I just saw it, and I want him to turn it around. Like, because I think he's really good.
He will turn it around.
Yeah.
They all do.
But when I see people tweeting the way he tweets, and then his friends lying to him, and I'm like, no one, like, this is part of the problem. Like, you're just lying to one another here, you know? But anyway.
I feel you.
You don't think it's too harsh?
I don't think it's harsh. I think I mean, it's funny. We're not going to get into this in detail, but just real fast. We've had conversations about teams and about teams that you've been on or teams that you are on, and about the realization of, like, you know, what the potential could be like. It's not even worth saying it, but basically, you know, if you're in the team, you know kind of where you're all standing at. You're playing with each other. You know how you're performing.
Especially when shit's going wrong, like really wrong.
You know,
and you can
who
see
is not. You know who the weak link is. You know who's performing well. You know who's not. You know who's not working together well. You know why. You know how. You know it all because you're playing it. You're playing through it.
Yeah.
You know, so he knows.
Yep.
That's all I'm gonna say. It's plain and simple. He knows. The one person I didn't know was Methods. I think that's fair enough. Like, I didn't know. I was
Methods.
what?
Yeah, because Methods was just such a shock, which we won't dive into. Yeah. But because he has every reason to not believe
because
you know?
He was performing.
Yeah.
He was performing the best on his team.
Yeah.
So it didn't make any kind of sense to him or fans. I understand that.
But
shock.
you take the worst performing.
Because even I said, what?
Yeah. But then, you know, in Florida's case, they're struggling. You take the person who's performed the worst, and
it makes sense.
They're throwing a Hail Mary.
It's what happened on London. It's what happened here. It's what happened in pretty much every other team that we've seen team changes. That is kind of the route they go down, apart from controversial Ultra, who happened to win the second major.
They got so lucky.
Good job.
They got so lucky.
But I tell you what, I want to talk about one more thing, Call of Duty, before we move on to our Q&A that you guys have written in with incredible questions for us to answer. The new edition, Standoff. Let's talk about it. Cool.
Very
Black
cool.
Ops 2, old but gold.
Yeah.
Talk to me about Standoff, because I haven't played Standoff. I didn't play Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
So
you missed out.
I did miss out
on a great game.
So talk to me about why this map is so great, why it's an old but gold.
It was just one of the best. Like, you know, you look back at like Raid, you know how Raid is held to such a high standard, obviously, and I think it still has. Like, I think Raid is awesome to watch in Cold War, but Standoff is right there with it. You know, it's a game mode. Hardpoint is played on it. Capture the Flag was played on it, and Search and Destroy is played on it. And when you can get all three game modes in on a map, you got a pretty good map, you know? And so I think that's why people are excited for it. It's a good map, brings back a lot of good memories. Just something different, you know?
Competitive wise, I've heard it's pretty damn good.
Yeah,
though,
it was really good competitive map. I always proceed with caution. You know me. I'm like, people are all excited for it. I'm like, you know, you could play it and it just doesn't work. You know, like, I'm like, you can just play it and it's bad. You know, like, I don't know. But I do get the reason for being hyped on it. You know, you're halfway through the season.
It's fun.
Halfway through the season, and you're getting new maps, and that makes teams have to play and adapt and learn new metas and new strategies, and I love that. Because that's something that
things then don't get stale.
Exactly, because that's what in Halo 5 happened for me. It just got stale after the first year, second year of just kind of the same old. You're like, okay, I mean, literally in 2018 Halo 5, you didn't even have to practice anymore.
You just know
what to do. So that's why I love the addition of new maps. I think it keeps teams honest. I think it keeps teams really going after it, and I think, you know, guaranteeing what should be a good map is a good sign.
Yeah, there's also a couple of different changes potentially. This morning we did touch upon it, like I would say half an hour ago. Slide cancelling.
Yeah.
Cancelled.
Yeah. Slide cancelling cancelled. I'm excited. I want to see. It's interesting.
Have we got an absolute definitive answer to that? Is that 100% happening?
Yeah, like people are saying
that was.
I think
it
happened.
Notes?
I think it happened. I don't really know because I just see Twitter exploding over it.
Let me see if I can pull some patch notes up while you. So talk to me about why, if that is true, what do you think about that in general?
So basically, with slide canceling, like what slide canceling allowed people to play angles and play cameras and like shoulder stuff way more. I mean, you understand the terminology I'm saying, but for viewers, like shouldering and slide canceling is like you can like peek a corner. You can act as though you're sliding out and like midway through cancel it and you're still in the doorway, but you could see out, obviously. So it's a big, I saw Aches tweeting about it. It's a big advantage for people because like when you're sitting on a head glitch, when you can slide cancel out, it's way more beneficial for you, excuse me, because you're able to like take these gunfights that you just couldn't in past Call of Duties because of how stuck you are with the movement. If you slide out of a door, like you're sliding out of the door.
Oh, absolutely.
So I don't know. I'm interested to see if it makes a change. God, you're
getting a frog in your throat here. It's a whiskey.
Probably.
I'm having a little look now. Obviously it's patch notes are usually quite heavy to just skim read. But I'm trying to have a little look here. Got some weapon tuning for the Krig 6. So
that's cool.
And then
I haven't seen anyone talk about that.
Sprint speed.
Yeah. Is that the right one? Let me see. Can I
don't know. Have a look. I don't know. Am I looking at? Surely that is the right one.
Let me go to
It's literally the latest patch note.
Let me go to. I always go to Twitter.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Forget about it.
Whatever.
I'm pretty sure it's in because people are talking about it.
Yeah.
And saying how different the game is now.
I would like to dive in the patch notes. I'm very curious about heading into tomorrow with them.
We're going to play tonight. We were already planning on it to take a look at it.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that'll be cool.
You think it's gonna make a difference in like placement wise?
I don't think it's going to make a difference placement-wise, but I do think it's going to make a difference to like some of the players who are comfortable doing that or actually do, like, for example, slide cancelling is quite a big part of the game for a lot of our fast players, like your Simps, your Celiums, your Neptunes, the young guns, really. Yeah. It's their cup of tea, it's their bread and butter.
I saw a tweet that was like, if you're over the age of 24, you love these patch notes because it's...
Exactly. Yeah. And it's just, but then if you're under that, it was a brand new kind of thing that came to fruition. And that's the play style the younger generation had adopted. Very interesting. I'd love to know the decision making behind that from the higher ups and why that happened. But
saw a tweet from Aches and we're like, yeah.
What?
He tweeted, I think we said this last week. He tweeted, he doesn't see FaZe losing. Did I tell you about that? He doesn't see FaZe losing with the slide canceling meta, and then they lost.
Oh yeah,
but
I was making a joke. Remember, I said it was over his cauldron cursing.
Yeah. No, so we did talk about it last week. But then I was making a joke like, whoever, I don't know who does patches, Call of Duty, like Activision, I guess.
Yeah.
They saw his tweet and were like,
That's it.
Time to make a change.
It's the time.
No,
he's cursed in many ways now. He's cursed the.
He's cursed them.
Honey, I cursed the kids.
I don't know. Does he play right now?
Starring Aches, huh?
Does Aches play at all?
Probably plays a little bit. I would assume, but not like.
Does he play challengers?
I don't know.
Interesting.
You're his biggest fan. You should know.
Why do you make Sam his biggest fan?
He's always scrolling. To be fair, I'm just joking, but you do.
I was going to say,
you're very up to date on Twitter.
Yeah, I just look at Twitter.
Very up to date. I'm not very up to date. I just get all my.
You know what I'm good at though? I'm up to date on Twitter without being a ridiculous amount on Twitter.
Yeah, no, I know. It's weird. I never really see you ever on Twitter, but you just know everything.
You know why?
Why?
Because I have everyone blocked and muted that just don't belong on the timeline.
Okay, fair enough.
I see only the importance.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're talking about the important things. We're going to move on.
Yeah. Are you excited for stage 3?
Hell yeah. Are you?
Yeah. I'm really excited.
Good, me too.
I just wanted to say, excited.
Me too. Right. So
back to it though. Back to work.
I got on my phone here the questions.
Yeah.
They're in, folks.
Mm-hmm.
We did put our Q&A yesterday.
Q&A tweet.
Yesterday. To see what you guys wanted to know, and we're going to answer, I think, pretty much every question.
Yeah, because we don't have any. We talked Honestly, we talked longer than I thought we probably could about Call of Duty and everything, but we should have
not been that bad that time.
What's wrong with that?
Oh.
She's looking at the screenshot that she had. Oh what time it was. She thought it was 10 a.m.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Anyway.
Wow. Okay. Never just keep your phone. I thought it was like 10:57 for way too long.
Yeah.
I was like, holy smokes, this is going slow. Oh my god.
Anyway.
Okay. Right.
We talked longer than we thought we could about Call of Duty. Questions. But into questions. Go ahead.
So from Ice Bashfooth.
Our boy.
Yeah.
Love Ice.
So he said, if you haven't recorded yet, what's your dream location for an event, and also what's the best way for a fan to introduce themselves?
Oh, dream location for an event. Do you want to answer first, or do you have something?
Dream location for an event. I would say do you know what? It's rough because I think about stuff like practically, like what is the dream location for an event in terms of like
where can I get to easy?
No, it's not even just that, but like I think he means like somewhere beautiful. You're really struggling with that throat.
It keeps happening to me. It's been happening all morning.
And
it's been happening all morning, and here's the thing: I've only drinking coffee this morning, which I think is part of the problem.
That's probably what it is, babe. And it's rough because I've actually been to many locations for filming.
Can I rephrase this for you?
As much as I love hot countries.
No, let me rephrase this for you.
What?
2 dream locations, 1 in the States, 1 out of the States.
Well, Hawaii.
Okay.
But then it's like also the argument is for me as broadcasting wise being too hot.
Yeah. Perfect conditions. Like you're inside, it's air conditioned. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean?
Hawaii, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Out of the States.
Mm-hmm.
Iceland.
That's cool. Aren't they having? They're having a
Valorant event in Iceland. It's beautiful. It depends where they are, but freaking awesome. What about you?
I'm gonna go really boring and say
New Jersey.
Nah, for the first event. Oh man, what's a good?
Walk out your house.
No, what's a good event here? I like Texas.
Texas is great.
I like a Texas event, especially now with so many people being there. I feel like it's really you're gonna get to see a lot of people.
That is so true.
You know what I mean? Like a Halo event in Texas. Like I'm gonna have so many Call of Duty friends come over and hang out. It's like so. I'd say that kind of like a bleh answer. Like it's not really like a great. I mean, I just think of the year we've had. The year we've had. I think
outside of the States. I've got to move us along here. This is a train that needs to keep
Portugal.
Going. And Portugal.
Yeah.
Nice heritage.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Any excuse to go back because it was awesome. I would say somewhere else, but I'm gonna go with a place I've been out of the country. Okay. And Portugal is really good. I like to go to a London event because the crowds are always really good in London. Like true. Even the Halo event was awesome. Yeah, but like Call of Duty is fucking crazy. Crowds are great. I didn't get to experience that.
Best way for a fan to introduce themselves. The second part of this question.
You want to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay, so the best way for a fan to introduce themselves, 1, try to find a time that obviously a player isn't busy or like, a talent isn't busy.
This is a great question, by the way.
Yeah, it is a great question. Find a time that someone isn't busy. It can even be when they're walking, but don't be insulted if a player says, hey, like, I have to go here. But usually, like, after a player wins, it's a really good time because usually you get a little bit of a break, for example.
And they're in a good mood.
Yeah, and they're in a good mood. Introduce yourself, say hello, say your name. Again, don't be offended if they perhaps don't remember you or don't know you. And then other than that, you just kind of just chat and be yourself, be normal, don't be nervous, and know when to break off of the conversation.
That's great advice.
Because I think what happens a lot of times, in my experience, is people are nervous to come up to you. And like, me, like after we win and I'm chilling, like by all means, come up to me, say hello, introduce yourself, talk about the event.
That's what I did.
Yeah. Shut up. And but a lot of times what happens is obviously I'm there to compete, so I only have such a limited amount of time.
Yeah.
And I think what happens
later in the day is probably better.
People are nervous to where I think they don't know when's the right time to like break off of this conversation. Yeah. So a good thing to do is introduce yourself, talk about whatever, and then be like, anyway, I'm gonna let you get back to it. Like, you're so great meeting you. I'll see you around.
I think it's good for pro players to know when to also do that and be like, anyway, dude, it was so lovely to meet you. That's easy. You've
seen with me, I'm good now. I'm pretty good about it.
Like when you
I can break a conversation now.
But you can just do it in a nice way.
In a nice way. I can break a conversation now in a nice way. But when I was
younger,
younger,
people are gonna know your tells now. People can know.
It's not. It's okay because it's no offense. It's just I got something I got to do. It's not like I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
It's just I have. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Yeah. Your advice?
For me, it's a little different. Anytime.
Yeah.
Come up to me anytime. Obviously, if I'm on air, can't really do anything there. I'm probably not going to even acknowledge you just because broadcasting, like when you're on air, it's I'm being paid to do that. So I mean, I think that's just a given. I think people know that. But anytime I'm not on air and I'm just like anytime, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
You can tell because let me say this: she says anytime, but you do have to be careful because like say a series just happened and like the game's just about to be over and you see her like walking somewhere. She's strutting. She's fast walking somewhere. She's probably got to be somewhere.
Yeah.
So you just have to recognize those times.
I don't have any problem. Like I've done this before. I've been strutting my stuff to get to the desk because something's happened really quick. And you can see because my audio crew will be there like shoving stuff in my ears and things. But I've had people come up to me in those moments and be like, hey, because I'm walking past the crowd and I'll go, hey, so nice to see you. I'll come back. And I come back and I'll come back and see them.
That's really nice.
So and I make a mental note of it. So I do come back. But yeah, honestly, anytime I would honestly say that I wouldn't. It's just not my favorite time to say hello. It's probably in the loo.
Oh my God, toilet. Don't do that.
I'm not a big fan of that because usually what happens in the loo is I like to go in and out.
Yeah.
Like first of all, I'm wired to the high heavens. I am wired, right? Yeah. It's not in the good way. That's just wrapped. Yeah. And it's very tricky for me to go to the toilet anyway. So I have to just very, very quickly get in and out.
Yeah.
And also when I'm in there, it's really hard for me to have a conversation because I don't know what's going on outside. I don't know where the game's at. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. Like when I'm outside of the toilet, it's so much easier because I can tell, I can see, my comms then work in the toilet. My comms don't work. Obviously, I switch them the hell off in the toilet. Yeah. Hell, anyone hearing that. But that's probably the worst time. So don't ever.
That's a good.
Just wait till we walk out.
Yeah, that's a good piece of advice because I've had that happen quite a bit.
Yeah, it's really really rough, and you just have no toilets are like a little time stopper. No, but listen.
Let me say this: if we're like in the line, because sometimes there's a line to get in. You know, if we're in the line and like we're just both standing there, enough. That's all good. But when we walk in to the bathroom, let's just get the business.
I always get to skip the line.
Well, it's a little bit different for you.
I'm not obviously by any means anyone like important, but with broadcast because timings are tight.
No, I mean like
the one thing I would say is a great little thing about my job. Sometimes I get to skip the queue.
Yeah, I don't. So
just the one thing.
I don't.
I'm sorry that you don't.
No, it's actually not true because sometimes there's a player private bathroom. But yeah, so great advice. I'll be Pizzle.
Anyway, thank you so much, Ice. That was awesome.
Love you, bro.
Odin asks, you both have a following / community. Great add-on. Great, transition onto this question. What's your favorite thing about your community? He does note, no cliche answers. Let's hear something unconventional.
What's like a cliche? Well, I feel like when we answer this, we can answer it together.
I think cliche means like, oh, they're just the best. Okay. I love them. Right, it's more like, give me specifics about your community.
So I'm going to give a slightly cliche answer, but bear with me because it's truthful.
Okay.
I'm going to say our community because I think that it's really our community at the end of the day.
That's very sweet of you.
No, I do think it's community that we have on the podcast. I feel like you're super part of my streaming community. I do think
because of the podcast, our communities are very slowly combining, which is really lovely.
Exactly.
That's freaking awesome.
Sorry, if that's cliche. I love the positivity that we have overall. Like we say it all the time in the comment section. We read every comment. We love you guys commenting. When I stream, even on Twitter, like it's always just positive interaction after positive interaction. It is
positive, but I also love the opinions too, because you can disagree and stuff, but you guys do it in such a nice way, and it's like that was literally
gonna be my follow through. Stole it. Because great minds think alike. You know exactly what I was thinking. No, I love the ability to, because I do. I use my stream as like a venting place.
Yeah,
and I love the ability, or even the podcast. I love the ability to go and answer questions and even just give my opinion on stuff going on in esports, and I can be I don't want to say negative, but critical without people taking it super offensive. And for the most part, we'll get one person every once in a while who, we end up having to get them out. But overall, like everyone can have different opinions, but we move on with it, and everyone's super, you can have different opinions, but everyone's really nice, and and I love that, because I think that's what I think that's how you're supposed to be. I think you're supposed to be able to have different opinions, but be like, hey, have a great day.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think I think that is a fantastic part of the community. I think for me, on my side of things, and just like what I see from my perspective,
because it is slightly different for you, obviously.
It is slightly different. I do have as much as our communities do combine to a degree, I think there's a bit large portion of my community that doesn't, and that's absolutely fine, because whatever floats your boat.
It's CDL,
What I love about my community is that I know that they're all nice. Yeah. Because I make a point of, if somebody is not nice to someone else, like really quite horrible to someone else, and I see that happening, or they have something to say about me in like a really negative way, and they're shaming me in any way, shape or form, I block them. Yep. So I know that amount of people, that community that respond to what I'm saying and I respond to them, I know that they're nice individuals. Yep. And I love that about my community. I could really do, because I know it's very harsh, because not everything's just rainbow and sunshines, and I don't expect it to be. But I don't expect you to come on here to call other people horrendous
bad
things,
names and
call me horrendous things, and then expect me to allow you to be on my platform. It's not going to happen.
I'm proud of you.
I love that about my community.
I'm very proud of you. You've come a long way.
Thank you.
Social media.
I know. I've come a long way. I was a sensitive butterfly, and now
I wouldn't say you were overly
an armored beetle.
I wouldn't say you were overly sensitive, but when you're new to social media, it's
hard not to be.
Exactly. When you're new to social media,
when you're reading those, I mean, you've seen some of the stuff I get.
100%.
When you read some of those things about yourself, it makes even the strongest of people upset or question or doubt, or
especially feeling like you can't
take it personally.
It's a lose-lose, isn't it? Like, you can't reply, you know what I mean? So now you just block it. But what's funny is people think that because you block it, like, they win.
No,
you don't.
No, you don't, because
you block
you're irrelevant to me.
No,
you're totally irrelevant to me.
I saw that the other day of people being like, I don't block people because I don't even want to give them the satisfaction of getting any kind of attention.
But they don't even know, because they can't find you anymore. That's it.
Well, no, so they know they know that you saw it because you blocked them. But I tell people this all the time. Like, when I ban you or I block you, I don't know who you are. I don't think one thing. After I press that block button, which I do it.
No, I know.
I do it quickly.
You are
erased. You are
Thanos snapped from my timeline.
Exactly.
You're Thanos.
Exactly. Well, there you go. Boom.
There's a blue stone. It's a Twitter blue.
Got a little bird.
It's a Twitter blue stone.
It's got a little bird on it.
Gone.
Next question.
Next question.
Odin.
Yes.
Love you, bro.
Love you.
Don't take offense if I didn't say love you, but the first two questions are people that we know. Next, we got Ali.
Ali. So Ali says, Alistair says, looking into the future, apart from the gameplay itself, what actually excites you about the esports space? This is a tough question, but a great question.
Can I dive in?
Please do, because I need to think about it.
So what I love outside of gaming is the ability for so many different people to connect. Really easy answer, but that's really what it is for me. Like, the people that I'm friends with, and some of my best friends now through gaming, are people without gaming I wouldn't have probably known, but with that merging of our worlds, it's like you just gain a new appreciation for the friends you have. And also, like, just talking like business related, I love, one of the things I love about the esports scene is people just being able to dive into so many different things. Like, I love seeing, like, you see like Nick Merckx, right? He's like biggest streamer on Twitch now.
Yeah.
He's diving into like health and fitness, sports betting, like just all kinds of stuff that I really, really admire for someone to push people, not necessarily the betting thing, because the betting thing is whatever, but, for like the health and fitness side, he's a big advocate of it, right? And he's pushing, 30K viewers a day on improving yourself and being better. And like, it's not just something that if you didn't have the esports scene, he came from the esports scene.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's because of that he is him, but you get what I mean? Like, you're able to branch out off of gaming and show what you're about and your interests. And I just think that's awesome.
Well, I think that brings me very nicely into like my point, because I do completely agree with that. And then to add on to it, I just think what excites me the most about esports and its future, apart from the gameplay, is the potential. And that can mean so many different things. And truly, it is because it can mean so many different things that it excites me. The fact that this industry is so versatile. Yeah. Like, it's very unlike traditional sports in the sense that with a traditional sport, again, fantastic, love traditional sports, love sports. But they are one way. They're a one-way street in terms of baseball is baseball. You have a bat and a ball, and you have a team and a pitch and a pitcher and all sorts of stuff. But that is it. That is what you have. That is your sport. Esports is not like that at all. Esports has so many different alleys and tangents and ways that you can go off in so many different areas, to the point where I feel like the sky is genuinely the limit. As cliche as that sounds, it is true. I mean, think about the different games that you have, the games that are evolving, the fact that you're able to go into a game and change a game. You can patch a game. You can't patch baseball. You can't patch traditional sports.
Rulings, but
You know what I'm saying?
No, I know
you can't patch. You can't create a new version of baseball.
I know what you mean.
There's no baseball 2 and baseball pitch 4 and baseball ops. It's just not. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
I just love that you can have RPG games, MOBA games, FPS games, open world games, puzzle games,
because you just
games.
love gaming in general.
There's so many different things that I just think, and with all those different things comes, like you said, those opportunities to branch off in. So much, because that's kind of my point with it. With what I'm excited for the future is seeing. You're now seeing, and I mean, you agree. Is there's so many people just branching out into so many different things that just go that are bigger, not necessarily bigger than gaming, but tying it into game. Health and fitness. Barstool Sports, which is massive. You got fashion brands collabing with big gamers and organizations, and you know what I mean. Like there is so much potential, but also so much uniqueness. Which is what I love. I love that, Al. Thank you so much for writing in. We got Desmesk Siaki. Oh, I'm so sorry, my New Zealand bro. I'm gonna butcher this.
Go ahead, give it your best try. Come on.
Siaki Philo.
Okay.
I'm gonna try that. Mesk 746.
Sounded good.
We love you. We always see you writing in. You are awesome. Our New Zealand bro for life. Appreciate you so much. So he says, PJ bro, when you come into play in the CDL, shout out to both Lottie and PJ from your New Zealand bro with a big green heart.
I don't know if it's gonna happen. I just don't. I've said this before.
We talked about it.
I think that there's a chance I will try to, after a little bit of time with Infinite, and I'm gonna have to feel like my time's really done with Halo, which I think could happen. Like I got to that point in 2017 because they didn't make any changes where we won, and I was just kind of just bored with it. I was like, I just didn't. I had a hard time setting like goals because I was like, I feel like we did everything. A little bit better now. I feel like I'm gonna be able to manage that a lot better. But with what they've said that their plan is for Infinite of being a 10-year plan and wanting to change stuff nonstop and, really being able to patch the game quickly, something that we've lacked in Halo before. I just don't know if a Call of Duty career for me is going to be a thing. I think my time is kind of passed with it. The only time that I know I should have done it is there's 2 times, and that's one with Ghost. I should have stuck with it, and probably around Black Ops 4 when Frosty switched it over. I should have tried then as well. But we were long distance at the time of Black Ops 4, and I wasn't willing to sacrifice, I would just go to the UK for 3 weeks at a time, and I just wasn't willing to sacrifice that. So,
I feel you.
Probably not going to happen.
I feel you, and I appreciate you.
Yeah.
But, I think for me, there's it's hard because, I just want to do everything I can to support you and to let you do what you need to do.
You didn't tell me not to. You told me to do it.
I know I did. But I just, obviously it's very touching because our relationship is fantastic and I couldn't ask for anything better. But I do always, I do want you to make sure that you do follow what you want to do.
Yeah.
And, the paths that you want to take, and I'll always support you with those.
Thanks, babe.
Anyway, by the way, I just want to let you guys know, I'm not being super rude messaging while he's talking. I have back-to-back meetings today, and I have one literally straight after we finish filming.
Right when we finish.
So I was just letting them know I'm going to be a little late for it because I want to finish our questions. So let's move on to the next question. Love that. On New Zealand bro, we love you. You are also flipping awesome.
Stuff got announced for Infinite, just to add to that. Stuff got announced for Infinite that with the position I'm in with Halo, I just was like, there's not really a point to do that. There's just not a point to do it. It's like a little bit more of a risk than I need to take.
Yeah.
Especially with what we got going on. Bought a house and we got shit to do. And I'm like, I get to, but like not necessarily now because Infinite was supposed to be released, but before Infinite, like we knew good times were coming and big things were coming. So I was like, well, what's the point? Had I known Infinite got delayed, I probably would have given it a crack. But
so we need to speed through these. So good, strong answers for these questions, okay? Because we're approaching my time that I got to go to a meeting. So I really want to get these done for everyone. So Douglas Sweeney says, do you see Halo going into a franchise league similar to COD? If not, why? And yes, would you be happy for this to happen? If yes, would you be happy for it to happen?
I don't see them going to a franchise league for a couple of years in the Halo. I don't think we're at the spot where we can require a buy-in and stuff like that. I'll say I hope they do, depending on how the next couple of years go for Call of Duty. Because from what I see now, I would love it. Because I think that overall, it does great things for the scene, does great things for the player, great things for the talent, and it regulates events and everything, which I think is something really needed in Halo. But hopefully, there's a chance with Halo it might not be needed because they're already kind of figuring that out with the 1-year roadmap already planned. So
love it. Well, look at that. Boom. That's like an interview answer that. That's the dream. Douglas, thank you so much. Great question. Fern says, for LVP, when you were growing up, what was your dream career? Was it always something in communications and broadcast? How did you end up where you are now? Fern, yes. The answer is yes. I actually did always want to be a presenter when I was younger. I kind of looked at, when I was in school, I actually went to a boarding school. I grew up in a boarding school, an all-girls school, so we were very independent from the get-go, from literally 10 years old. And we were kind of always pushed to make decisions very quickly and to kind of figure out what we kind of wanted to be so that we could tailor our education towards that. I really didn't know that I wanted to be a broadcaster until a little bit later into school. So I was constantly going down the sport path. That's what I thought I was going to be. I thought I was going to be a sports star, which to a degree I was, but being a female and the sport I chose just couldn't be a professional.
You didn't see a career
couldn't
past
be a professional in that, couldn't get paid to play. So it's just a little bit different. But I quickly figured out that I could speak pretty well to crowds and I wasn't nervous and I really enjoyed speaking and communicating to large crowds or people. And I love sport and I love gaming. So at first I put the two together and I thought I'll be a sports presenter. I'll be like something like a rugby presenter or a football presenter or something like that. And I'd love to pursue that path. And I did that for a couple of years. I did a lot of free work for a lot of people. I think that's kind of how you build it. You need to build a portfolio. You need to build a show reel to show what you can do because people aren't going to hire you unless they know that you're good for the job. So a lot of free work, a lot of initiative on your own back. And then I accidentally happened to run into the right person who happened to notice I was really into gaming. I was into Call of Duty, and that's what I like to do on my off time and my hobby. I used to do it a lot with my brother, my younger brother Jake. And yeah, right person, right time, right opportunity came knocking at my door. Call of Duty, Call of Duty World League, last chance qualifier in London back in 2017. And I did that and I was interviewing people like Magcat and Judd and Bance and Marky B and Tommy. That was literally my first ever taste of esports in the esport world. And that's where I began. And funny enough, that's where I've ended up. It's Call of Duty again. And I've been doing a lot of stuff in my time. But I'll tell you what, just work hard, push for it. If that's something you want to do, just literally take it on your own back, do things for free, take it the extra mile, really, really just get involved in any way that you can off your own back first, and then show people that you're going to work hard for it.
Two things that's really interesting, because I know we got to go quick. It's funny how your childhood-ish influenced your career path, because you know how like you were in boarding school and you were like it's called like the head girl,
which is what, class president,
basically like class president in the States.
In the UK it's like the whole school, so your whole high school, you are
not for like a grade like how it is for the most part.
Whole school.
It's interesting because you have to like literally speak in front of everyone, so it's really fun. It's really funny how it ties in.
I would have to talk to all the time.
Separate topic for another day. I've given that advice to people all the time, like interning and stuff like that, kind of what you said. That is actually a really controversial thing now.
Really?
Yeah. What? Like interning for free is really controversial now. Did you know that?
Yeah. No, what I mean about for free is, I mean, like, I do know it's controversial and it should be 100%, because I remember the times that I did that for companies and it was really rough and hard work. Yeah. And it would really get me nowhere half of the time. However, what I mean is, in esports, if you want to do this in esports, there's so much VOD and footage that you can record yourself commentating over, talking about for free. And then sending it or putting that in a show reel and sending it to people. It's so easy to do and so great. And you can really also, you can finesse it. Look, you're recording it. So if something goes wrong and you don't like what you said,
get a good take.
Bin it. Let's go again. You know,
that's really good advice. I've never heard talent give that advice before. So way to go.
Hot takes. There we go. So that was lovely. Thank you, Fem, for writing in. Avocados. Oh, your boy, Avocados.
Boy, I'm guiding him. I'm guiding him in life.
He says, if y'all couldn't be in esports, what directions would y'all take in your careers?
You go first.
I probably would be a makeup artist, to be perfectly honest. If I didn't do That's this, cool. I would probably be in the beauty scene doing makeup on people.
See, this is the thing with you. You could just do anything. Like you could do so many different things.
Yeah.
You could be an interior designer. Like if you dropped everything now, you could be an interior designer.
Yeah. Actually, that's such a good.
Notice she doesn't say no because she knows it.
I love interior design though, and the thing is with myself is what I think is like I actually work hard in anything that I want to do. So I would love like whatever I want to pick up. I know that I would strive to try and be the best I can possibly be for it. So yeah, like for me, like that's the big ticket is like working hard and making that work and happen for you is super important. And I think honestly, anything that you can pick up, I think you can achieve some of the highest possible dreams in that.
Yeah.
Like I can't even say what I was gonna say in that realm, whatever you're doing. So in that field, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, what about you? What would you be?
If you asked me today, I'd say professional golfer. Because I love golf.
PGA Tour.
Nah, but realistically,
who wouldn't? I'd love to be a golfer.
A lot of people wouldn't actually like it because it's a lot.
It's a lot on you.
Yeah, it's a lot on you. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of working nonstop for the most part. Even though people think it's easy, but it is somewhat. You know, it's the same thing with gaming, right? It's like if it's something you love, it's going to be easy. It's a lot of hard work though. At the end of the day,
I wouldn't say just because it's something you love, it's easy. I think the motivation is easy when it's something you love, but I think the actual doing it is hard.
Yeah.
But I think the motivation makes the hard work worthwhile.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to put it.
Realistically, though, what my actual answer would be to that, a stock trader, 100%.
Yeah.
An independent stock trader, something I've loved doing for a long time, and something I actually, Lot knows this, some of you might not. I've actually stopped myself from doing it because of how passionate I am about it. Because while I'm pursuing a career in gaming, I think it's really risky to be attempting to do something else while my focus needs to be here.
Yeah.
Like my focus needs to be here, and maybe that's something I pursue down the road. I've done well for myself with it in the time I have done it, but you got to be full-time to succeed at it. It's a risky business at the end of the day. I mean, I can't show them, but you can literally see I have 10 books all lined up. Like I'm pretty into it, so that's what I would do. Be an independent trader.
Short answer for this one because I think we've already spoken about it, but I think it's a good one to answer very quickly for you. Johnny Young wrote in and asks, does Paul ever have reservations about not fully committing to the COD switch? Because pretty sure Formula has said before he believes that he would have been highly successful if you had.
Matt has said that. I think I would have. I won't shortchange myself. I think I had a really good shot. Did
you have reservations about it?
Like feeling like as if I should have?
Missed opportunity?
No, I don't, because my life turned out to be, I can't imagine it being any better. That's just me being truthful. Like I literally love my life. I love the house. I love you. I love the dogs. Like how everything turned out for me after I stopped trying to go pro in Call of Duty, I just couldn't be more thankful. So I don't sit there and think like what could have been, because when I think that, or if I've ever thought that, it comes to mind like, well, what if, like, think about it. We met 2018 Worlds. It's like, what if I just never met you ever? Or, and then it's like, and it's not like it's just about you and I, but you know what I mean? Like I love my life. I don't think there's a point to sit back and wonder what could have been, because honestly, it turned out, 2 world championships, a lot of top placements. Like it turned out really good for me. Yeah. And like I said, I love my life. I think it'd be kind of pointless to sit there and think about what could have been when I already love what I have.
I see. I feel you.
Agreed.
I agree. There is a couple of questions left over, but we are running out of time, unfortunately. So what we'll do is next episode, at the end, we'll answer as many as possible as we can. And if you guys want to hear some more of them and you have your own questions off the back of what we're saying, let us know down below and we'll try and get them in next episode. So
we always look to the comment section for any topics. So if you guys ever have something you're dying to hear us talk about, there's a good chance we'll talk about it if you post it in the comment section.
Please do. We love seeing what you guys think and your interactions. So time to rate this.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
With the whiskey.
Because the whiskey, baby. The whiskey was a great addition.
I don't actually want to rate this in a serious way because it's 10th episode. It's meant to be a little bit of a celebration for hitting 10. We're being funny and put a little tiny bit of whiskey in it to celebrate. 10 out of 10. Love the podcast.
Yeah, honestly, we love you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in every single week. Your interactions are very much appreciated. We love hearing from you. The love and support you guys give us is just mind-blowing.
And we look forward to doing it more than anyone knows.
We really do. But 10th episode, super special to us. You guys are very special to us too. So thank you so much. We hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. Enjoy stage 3. Enjoy whatever you guys are going to be up to on the weekend. And we will see you next Wednesday as usual for episode 11. And as always, stay on the grind.